What about tomorrow at 5:30, Chelsea taking on Arsenal? What's your thoughts going into that? Before we get your thoughts, Martin, Arteta spoke just a short time ago. Now, much of the discussion going into this one is around the goalkeeping situation, Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale has actually been speaking about being dropped for David Raya at Arsenal. Ramsdale himself said, "You bothered about the predicament you find yourself in?" Yes, of course. It's the first time I've found myself in this situation. He said he's only played one of the past 7 matches at club level after being dropped in favour of Raya. Here's Mikel.
It's not easy for any player when he's not playing as much as he would like to, but the only way to do it is to work harder, to show the passion that you have for the game, to contribute to the team in a different way, and when you get the opportunity, do your best and try to help the team to win the game.
So he's got to work harder, Martin. It sounds almost too obvious to say it, but I'm sure Ramsdale realises that.
Yeah, and he's only answering questions. This thing's going to run and run, isn't it? It's like a pantomime. I do feel concerned for Ramsdale. Every time there's a goal scored or mistake made by Raya, the camera pans to him to see what his reaction is, and we've seen this. We've talked about this already. So I think the young man just needs to keep his head down, needs to work hard, and hope that it changes for him. But at the moment, it looks like the only time he's going to play is in the League Cup. Played in the last one against Brentford, and he's looking forward to the next one. That's really difficult for him, and he can see maybe he feels like his career's ebbing away, but things can change very quickly, Jim, in football. Yeah. And if he's needed, I'm pretty certain he can come in and do an outstanding job. Although at the moment he's second place. He's not the number one goalkeeper anymore, and that hurts.
How hard is it to fight back, Martin, and win your place back? Did it happen to you? Kolo Touré was breathing down your neck a bit, was he not?
Well, I was 37 years of age. In my career, I was being bought to come in to take somebody else's place. I never really experienced anyone being... Maybe Sol Campbell came in right at the end of my career, and that was discussed with me in a grown-up way with the manager, that me and Tony Adams would share the place next to Sol Campbell. Although when they saw him run and do pre-season and he was after 200 yards or 100 yards behind everyone else, the gaffer came running to us laughing to say, I might have to change that opinion. Right. But by and large, we kind of did that through the season, and Sol then was quite magnificent. So it depends what stage of the career you're at. Yeah. It's probably different for a goalkeeper. There's no real way, is there, to clamber back into the team unless you're being picked to show that you can demonstrate that you've improved that element. And very much the new goalkeeper's brought in because of what he does with his feet, not necessarily what he does with his hands.
Of course. I mean, Simon, you continually say, Chelsea will be all right. They'll be all right.
Yeah,
come the end of the season,
they won't win leagues.
Okay.
They won't win leagues anytime soon, because two things: they're behind the opposition, and I don't think their manager's got it in him to do that.
But they've just won 2 games on the bounce,
and that's great.
And it's Arsenal coming into town.
And that's great.
That's perfect for them.
And ultimately, yeah. I mean, I still pick Arsenal to win that game. I still think Arsenal are a better side, and I think the occasion will play itself out, and the players are big enough to play the game rather than the occasion. I think the situation with the goalkeeper is very Pep Guardiola-ish in terms of it feels like it's at the Pep Guardiola playbook in terms of there's no mucking about here with Arteta. Last year there wasn't much broken about the Arsenal side. The only thing that looked at certain times was defensively they looked a bit short when it came to games when their top centre-halves were out, and they looked a bit short offensively because I don't think Nketiah is good enough to give them what they need as an alternate striker. But now he's moved on past that and gone, well, actually, no, I'm not just going to look at those areas. The goalkeeper that's done really nothing wrong, I can enhance. And that's very, very definite and brutal football management. Not brutal.
Do you like that? Do you like that in Arteta?
I think it's definite. And I think in life, you'd be definitely right or definitely wrong, but you always be definite, and ideally be definitely right. So I think this smells and feels like Ramsdale needs to go somewhere else if he's going to progress in his career. It doesn't quite have the connotations of Joe Hart, but it has a whiff of it in terms of he was in and around being an England goalkeeper at the time. He was doing very little wrong, even though I didn't think he was a great goalkeeper. There wasn't glaring errors at Man City that would have made you think he's got to be gone. And in this instance, you can expect it if you want to, but you realistically can't expect a guy that has aspirations to play for the national side, that's been commended and applauded for his performances last year, to take it.
But it shows you, doesn't it, the importance that the manager is placing on the goalkeeper. He probably sees the goalkeeper as actually the most important player.
Well, I've always thought,
which is remarkable when you see the modern day game and you see where he is. Yeah, Raya. And he went through a lot. That Man City game was almost like Keepergate moment, because the pressure he was under.
But hasn't it always been such?
The fans were, honestly, if you're in the stadium, the fans weren't sure.
But
because he's
look at
making
that.
mistakes.
There's Gareth getting in touch. Arteta is showing massive disrespect to Ramsdale. He was part of the squad that pushed City all the way to the end.
Hold on, this disrespect.
He's striving for greatness. He wants to win the Premier League.
Disrespect because someone has a different view on you is a ridiculous, byproduct of society. If you say something about someone that's not particularly praise orientated, it's disrespect. It's interesting we talk about goalkeepers and their value. Martin O'Neill will sit here and tell you that the key component to them being Nottingham Forest that won the 78-79 championship was Shilton. And it's always been such. And now it's being recognised. It's being recognised in transfer fees. It's being recognised in the value of what goalkeepers can do. And it's been made to be recognised by the fact that Guardiola's gone, I've got a goalkeeper that can play a ball better than most midfield players.
I mean, Raya was actually parked, wasn't he, next to the Arsenal central defenders. He's playing so high, so this is a change, so they can get more personnel into the top of the pitch. The goalkeeper's playing really high. Now, there is a risk value to that.
Right.
And at the start of this game, as I say, I was just trying to explain how it was. Now, in that game, I think Raya did full circle. By the end of the match, his kicking was absolutely outstanding, and maybe that's kind of the making of him. But it was a difficult moment for him. The fans weren't sure.
Right. Okay. Well, he's got a good thing going in the goalkeeping department. Many of you are saying this morning it's great because there is serious competition for the spot, and that's what Arsenal fans want. What Arsenal fans want as well is a win at Stamford Bridge tomorrow, 5:30, and of course earlier tomorrow, football definitely is back in the Premier League. Liverpool host Everton 12:30, live and exclusive on TalkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.